Another plugin that we have to install and then activate is a block builder. A block builder is a plugin that will help you put different elements onto your page, because you have to have some way to insert rows and columns or a video, a picture, a heading. You need to have some ways to get those on a web page, and so you will do that through a block builder. There are three popular choices. One is called Elementor, one is called Divi, and one is called Gutenberg. And I have a very clear choice about which one I think is best. Let's talk about Gutenberg first of all. Gutenberg is kind of a default for WordPress, and it works just fine for really simple websites like blogging, where you're just going to use a theme and not try to customize it. And so that's easy to use, but customizing is really difficult because you have to know coding in order to be able to do any customization. Now, I want to teach you to be able to customize, and so Gutenberg is not a great choice for us. Then there's Elementor. It's free. There's a lot that you can do with it. It's highly customizable. It's clunky at first. Honestly, it can be frustrating. It can do a lot, but you have to learn the ins and the outs of it. But you can do almost anything and everything you want with the free version, although you have to work harder on the free version. If you had a pro version, things are easier. Yeah, but the free version works pretty well. And so I'm going to start you guys out on the free version of Elementor. This is what it looks like. So you'll go to your plugins on your dashboard, and you will install and activate. So let's look at a website right now. So remember, we go down to plugins. We're going to add plugin, add. And then I'm going to type in Elementor, and I'm not going to let it respell it for me. You'll see it here. We're going to install it, and then we're going to activate it. Okay, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint now. We'll come back to that in a second. All right, so we're going to use Elementor. And if the logo looks different, that's okay. Elementor changes its logo all the time. It's not a big deal. All right, Divi is the third choice, and it's very similar to Elementor. It does lovely, you can do lovely designs. I think it's easier than Elementor, but there's no free version. When I was making this video, it was about $90 per year. You could get a 250 lifetime subscription, which if you were going to be designing websites for your professionally, well, I would do it and build clients, and it would work. But since we are not designing professionally, we're going to use the free Elementor. Okay, and this is just what the Divi site looks like. So now let's learn a bit about Elementor. Let's go back to the website, and we are going to skip setup here. So we're just going to avoid this whole thing. And we're going to skip the setting of a theme because we've already picked Inspiro. And we are going to skip Pro Features. And we are going to skip at the bottom. Let's see if I can get to the bottom here a little easier. We are going to, we are going to skip everything. Okay, so skip. And it's just going to take a minute. It's thinking about working. Skip, 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 skip. Okay. All right. We are going to get out of here because I want to show you something different. You're going to go and hover over here. And if you noticed, it is an E, but when I come over it becomes a hamburger menu. So sometimes you will hear me call this the hamburger menu. We're going to click on it, and then we're going to exit to WordPress. And then over here, I'm going to click on WordPress logo, and this is going to take me to my dashboard. All right, what I want to do now is I want to add a page. So if you look in your dashboard, we have pages, add page. And here I am going to enter the name that I'm going to be calling my page. And this whatever you type here is going to show up in your menu eventually. So name it something that makes sense, something short and that makes sense in a menu. All right, then I'm going to come over to the top right and I'm going to click publish 2 different times. And once I've clicked on publish, I'm going to come over here and say edit with Elementor. Okay, for Elementor, this is what our default looks like. And if I want to start adding things, I am going to use this function here, this little plus sign, hit the plus, and we are going to choose a flexbox layout because this gives us lots of options of how we want to arrange things. And for right now, I'm just going to select a structure that's just one column, 1 row. So I'm going to click on that, and now I have this right here, right now, just 1 column, 1 row. If I want to put something in here, like if I want to put an image in here, I would click, actually let's put a heading in here to begin with. I'm going to click on the plus sign, and I'm going to see this. I have heading over here under the basic, and I can drag and drop, and then I can click in here, and then I can type something like hello, and then I can have my heading there. Later I'll show you how to fix color, font, size, all of that. But right now we're just adding. Let's add another element. So I click the plus sign. We're going to do flexbox. And this time I'm going to do a 2-column structure. And I need to put something in each of these. Okay, and if you notice, before I told you we would click on the plus signs, we could still do that. The other thing we can do is click on the plus sign at the top here. And I could drag an image in here. And when I come here, I could choose image. And so right now, if I click on that, we would need to upload a file because we don't have anything in here yet. I would select a file and pick something. So let me just pick a JPEG that I have here. And once it's up, I can select it, and now it's in there. If we go to over here and we want to add an element over here, I'm going to click the plus sign, and I'm going to take text editor, which is where you do your copy. It'll give you lorem ipsum text, and if we here you can highlight it, delete it, and then type in your own text or copy and paste text from somewhere else and put that in there. All right, so one of the things I'm going to ask you guys to do is to go ahead and go into your website, add Elementor, and then add a page, and then just try adding a couple elements here, and take a look and see all the different things that you can put in your website. You don't have to do lots of them. Now some of them, if it's pro, you can't access these, so I just usually collapse the things I can't access, but below it there are more things that you can do here. And so it's just nice to be able to have all these things. And I just want you guys to to feel this out and to understand how it works. Another thing I want to mention is when you're looking at some of my videos, there are times when I guide you to a page settings that's somewhere down here. It looks like a gear. Elementor has recently changed, and they moved the page settings to the top now. And so it used to be down there, so sometimes you'll see me saying, go to the bottom left hand and click on page settings. Now you will go to the top and click on page settings, and it will bring up the same options that you see when I had you click down there. Elementor is funny. They change things all the time, and sometimes they only change some of the websites. So when I have a class of 18 students, sometimes half of them will have a button up here, the other half will have a button down there, as Elementor does A/B testing, where they'll have both things in use at the same time, and they're seeing which one's better. Now, before you can get off of an Elementor page, you do have to hit publish, which is basically save. Publish is what you hit the first time, and then if you add more things, by the way, you can always just add more things to this. You can just drag and drop. But then anytime you make a change, we hit publish. And then to get out of it, we exit to WordPress. Okay. All right. Have fun.